Hi everybody, Tim Schneider with Aegis Learning, back with you, talking about dealing with difficult people. Last time we were together, we talked about some of the tremendous impacts, and I think we can all agree that if we're able to recover some of those, repair some of those, send them away with a win, send them away neutral, the impact and the value is going to be tremendous for us, both as organizationally and as individual leaders. So let's talk today about managing you, because that's going to be a really important dynamic going into these situations. Now, you don't always have a lot of prep time. You always don't, you don't have the benefit of predictability on your hands all the time. Some difficult people are pretty mercurial and they can go from okay to difficult really quick, but these techniques are also going to give you just a split-second chance to manage you. Now, before we get too horribly far down the road, I'd like you to do something for me. I'd like you to write 4 words on a piece of paper. I'd like you on the left-hand side to write the words right and wrong, and on the other side, I'd like you to write win and lose. Now take just a couple of seconds, I don't want you to overthink this, and draw lines between the words on the left and the words on the right that match one another. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, stop. By show of hands, how many of you connected right and win, wrong and lose? Awfully common response. And unfortunately, that leads us to our very first self-regulation, self-management technique today in dealing with difficult folks, and that is to subordinate our own egos. We cannot associate an interaction with a difficult person with winning. And in fact, the best solution to dealing with a lot of difficult folks, whether team members or customers, bosses, whatever, is going to be subordinate our ego and in some cases accept a loss, be wrong for an ultimate win. And again, I want to say that again, be wrong to win. Many of us know that, certainly in our personal lives, that we have to acquiesce and be wrong at home to keep the peace. Well, you know what? With difficult customers and difficult team members, the exact same dynamic holds true. Needing to be right, that deeply rooted egocentric need to be right, is not going to serve you well and not going to serve us well in dealing with difficult people. So start with thinking about ways in which, without giving away the shop, without giving away, and completely rolling over, how you can be wrong to win a certain situation. And a couple of examples that I want to point out and just kind of bring these to the surface for you to think about is playing and citing a policy and law. Is that an application of needing to win and playing a heavy-handed approach? Of course it is. Is saying that your boss wanted a certain thing done this way, or that your manager wouldn't approve it, is that a heavy-handed way of proving that you're right and you win? It is. It absolutely positively is. And we need to learn how to back our ego off and say, you know what, it's not about me, because it's not. Difficult situations are about things, not about you. You got to take yourself out of this. It's not about you. Turn your ego off. Find ways to be wrong to ultimately win. Now, the other piece of self-regulation that I really want to talk about today is that taking a little bit of time to avoid emotionally charged reactions. Because I got to tell you, some difficult customers, some difficult team members, certainly difficult bosses, difficult people at home, difficult people all over, they are masters at pushing our buttons and getting us to react and getting us to escalate and raise our tone. Nothing good, let me say this twice, nothing good will come from that. And in fact, when you react in that hyper-emotional, kind of aggressive kind of manner and your tone changes and you become authoritarian person, well, I tell you what, nothing good is going to happen from that. Not now, not ever. So, to avoid that, we have to do a little bit of a technique before we engage, or in some cases during the engagement that we have with difficult people. And that best technique for that is called practice the pause. It's very simply just a 3-second little close down Because your emotions are telling you, respond, fire back, get them. Back to what we talked about before, win. That's what your emotions are telling you. That little pause with a little bit of an inaudible breath, about 3 seconds, count it to yourself, don't count it out loud. That little pause is just enough to keep you in a composed, battlefield calm kind of way. Now, I tell you, sometimes in very difficult situations, you might have to do that a couple of times. Don't exaggerate it, when you're dealing with somebody, but just do it very subtly, do it to yourself, and do it as that reminder that you need to maintain your emotional composition. Because again, if you start ratcheting things up, nothing good is going to happen, and there's not going to be a good outcome or end to that situation. So our first step in dealing with difficult people, manage us. That ego piece and that emotional composition piece through practicing the pause. Next time we're together, we're going to start down our path of the 4-step process, the actual process-based piece of dealing with difficult folks. I hope you all have a tremendous week, and I look forward to seeing you soon.